Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about Kendall Rae, a recent sponsorship that she took on, and what people have to say about it. And I also want to kind of broaden the conversation around BetterHelp and influencers who align themselves with BetterHelp for the purpose of a brand deal or sponsorship. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys. So first things first, I was over on this Reddit. This came up on my homepage. I don't actually follow this Reddit page, but it found its way to me. And Kendall Rae in October of 2020 put out this tweet that said, I would never promote BH Better Health. Turned down sponsorships with them several times. I would feel weird making money off people with mental health struggles. Didn't have very much engagement at all. It had 3 likes, and whatever, like it is what it is. But the reason that people are discussing this now is because she recently has worked with BetterHelp.
By BetterHelp. Taking care of my mental health is a top priority for me, and one of the ways that I have done so in my life is through talk therapy. I truly believe in therapy, and that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp has a mission to make seeking therapy more accessible, affordable, and easy because it's all online and remote. Finding a therapist is simple with BetterHelp. All you have to do is fill out a few questions online, and in just a few days, they can match you with a therapist. There's a link to get started in my description box. It's betterhelp.com/Kendall Rae. And if you use that link, you'll get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. And what's also great about it is if you don't feel like your first therapist is a perfect fit for you, which is very, very common in therapy, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without having to stress about insurance or who's in your network. So if you need help navigating a specific issue, or you just want to talk to someone about the everyday challenges of life, consider BetterHelp Online Therapy. And thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel.
And the caption on here says, she is the only true crime content I watch. Just thought it was strange. I still love the support she gives families. And I second that. I agree. I think that Kendall Rae does a decent job of covering true crime content on YouTube. Do I agree with every single thing that she's ever said? Obviously, I have to put the disclaimer, no. Just because I subscribe to someone doesn't mean that I second everything they say, and I don't agree with every video that they've ever done. But I wanted to elevate some of the comments because one person said, this is such a bad look. She's had plenty of sponsorships by them since then, talking about 2020, including her most recent video. She's always trying to cover her tracks, then the cash flows in and she forgets everything she ever stood for. Someone else said, yep, and then there will be an excuse or a bad attempt to justify it. Someone else said there are so many other true crime casters, YouTubers, whatever, that do a better job than her and don't get near the credit. Someone mentioned Annie Elise, 10 to Life. I don't watch Annie, and someone else said she promotes BetterHelp too, so not sure what you're saying there, but whatever. I always wonder why she shares so much about her baby, names and photos, considering what she does for a living. I didn't know that she shares so much about her kid, but that's alarming. So I want to focus on this article. Now that that Reddit post has been shared, I found this from .la, BetterHelp Scandal. And I want to read this to you guys. I'll link it down below. I'm also going to link a video from this other mental health clinician, Mickey Adkins, that I follow on YouTube. And she's made several videos about BetterHelp. I was just watching this video that she put out about a month ago, and it says, why I'll never take a sponsorship from BetterHelp. Therapist explains the FTC allegations. So I'm going to read this article, and then I'm going to link her video down below. And if you guys are interested in this topic, then possibly me reading the article and then hearing from her will help you guys come to a better decision on how you feel about this situation. And then you can sound off down below. But it says that the BetterHelp platform connects patients with counselors and therapists online. I think all of us have seen at least 1 or 2 YouTubers do a BetterHelp ad, and I know that I've seen it myself. Mr. Ballin, who I really like his channel, but he has done some BetterHelp sponsorships. Now, he hasn't come out and said, oh, I would never work with them, and then was proven to be a hypocrite, but he has worked with them, and I don't really care for that, but it also doesn't mean that I'm just going to automatically unsubscribe from his channel and make a big uproar about it. But it continues and says it's one of a vast number of startups and services using live chat and video conferencing to make finding and working with doctors and specialists easier and more accessible than ever before. It's a sector that particularly exploded for obvious reasons during the pandemic and lockdown. But long before that, in 2015, BetterHelp was already popular enough to get acquired by virtual healthcare giant Teladoc. The company has now come under fire for improperly sharing its customer-sensitive personal data with outside platforms, including Facebook, Snapchat, Criteo, and Pinterest. This week, the FTC banned the company from all such activity moving forward, fined them $7.8 million, and demanded changes in how BetterHelp handles customer data. And by the way, this article was written in March of 2023. The FTC alleges that BetterHelp provided its users' email addresses, IP addresses, and even responses to health questionnaires to third-party companies in an effort to help them more effectively target advertising. Whether these companies were paying BetterHelp for data, it's unclear what arrangement there might have been. As if it weren't bad enough, BetterHelp then purposefully deceived its users about the nature of its data handling practices. According to the FTC's complaint, the company's guides and FAQs repeatedly assured users during the sign-up process that it would not disclose their personal health data. After a 2020 report in Jezebel raised red flags about how online services, including BetterHelp, handled sensitive user data, the FTC charges executives provided their customer service team with misleading scripts assuring users that their private information was indeed safe. So this is obviously just awful for a number of reasons. When you go into any kind of medical, televisit or phone call or anything medical related, you fully should expect, without a doubt, that all of that information is going to be kept private. Your name, your address, your email, your answers to questions, your medical history, all of that should always be under lock and key, point blank, period, no exceptions. That is why HIPAA exists. It is to protect patient information and supposed to really lock down doctor-patient confidentiality. Then, just this last June, a group of Democratic senators raised alarm bells about the data collection practices of talk therapy apps, sending letters to BetterHelp and Talkspace executives specifically to request information about their relationships with online advertisers and social media platforms. They were apparently ignored. The BetterHelp website also features a HIPAA compliance seal, even though no government agency has actually reviewed the company's practices to determine if they meet HIPAA requirements. So that's scary. In addition to the money, the FTC made a number of specific demands of BetterHelp. They're required to immediately stop sharing any individually identifiable information about their customers to third parties, stop misrepresenting their data collection practices, to alert existing customers about whether or not their info has been shared, to obtain affirmative express consent before sharing any other information, and to create a comprehensive privacy program with oversight from an independent third party. BetterHelp's team has yet to address the allegations publicly, except for a statement on their website calling their practices industry standard and suggesting that the FTC is using them as an example to set new precedents around consumer marketing. The company stressed that it had never shared its members' names or clinical data from their therapy sessions. Nonetheless, they've agreed to fully comply with the new requirements. There have been a lot of people come out and share their personal experiences having used BetterHelp therapists for, mental health diagnoses and issues that they're working through. It says most of these issues come down to a lack of professionalism. One young woman complained about her assigned therapist taking a personal phone call in the middle of her session, while others cite a lack of interest or engagement from their providers. Other allegations have gone much further. A Miami woman going by Kat told Vice that her BetterHelp therapist flipped on her and insisted that she accept her boyfriend's suggestion to enter an open relationship. And this sucks because situations like this really can make people turn their back completely on therapy. It literally takes one negative interaction, and some people will decide to never go back. And that really sucks. Here's another article that just reiterates BetterHelp paid $7.8 million in FTC settlement, agrees to stop sharing patient data for advertising. The proposed settlement and administrative compliance were approved by a 4-0 vote by the organization's commissioners, with the fifth commissioner concurring with the move. So, my opinion on influencers working with BetterHelp, first of all, it feels a little ick to me for anybody to be kind of collecting money by using your mental health and then collecting a paycheck for that. There are just certain things where I feel like we don't need a sponsorship for everything. We literally don't need a sponsorship for every single thing. Influencers make enough as it is, and to really hone in on your watchers or subscribers who are struggling with mental health and hoping that they will support your sponsorship, it just kind of feels a little weird to me. And again, just because I wouldn't do something doesn't mean that it's the worst thing ever. But I really want to know, how do you guys feel about BetterHelp? Again, I will insert a couple of clips from Mickey's video because I really trust her. I trust her experience, her education, her just the way that she looks at things. I really respect her a lot, so I will insert a couple of the things that she had to say, but I really would like, if you guys are interested, go watch her video in its entirety. The BetterHelp kind of rabbit hole is huge, and there's a lot of info out there, a lot of different people who have shared their own opinions. But with the Kendall Rae situation, I've said before, we can all, or have been, we have all been hypocrites at one point in time. I think that sometimes people can be hypocrites unintentionally. Just because you're a hypocrite, it doesn't mean that there is, some big thought out blueprint that's behind your hypocrisy. Sometimes it's really innocent and you just forgot or made a mistake. Like, we are human after all. But I think that it's very interesting when somebody stands on the hill of, these are my morals, I would never accept a penny from this company, and just a short time later. Now, as a reminder, this tweet that she put out was not like 15 years ago, where she could say, oh, well, I have a totally different outlook now. It's pretty clear, literally here in black and white, that you're not going to promote this company, but you have promoted them and worked with them for a fee numerous times. And that sets off alarm bells for subscribers. Things like this is when subscribers start to lose trust and they start to question, am I really supporting someone who sticks by their own ethics and is a good person? And even if their content is entertaining, or, they're your comfort YouTuber and you've watched them forever, that only carries some people so far. And I think that one thing that we can all use a little less of would be just influencers who are willing to do just about whatever for an extra paycheck. And they're literally already making hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And you also had to do this on top of it. So, starts to bleed into that, like, well, now you're just being greedy and you're really showing your colors. But I'm sure some people will just be very, very mad that I am even speaking of Kendall Rae, because she is usually very unproblematic. But I am here to talk about anybody and everybody who comes across my radar. And I came across that on Reddit, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys. Am I saying that she should be canceled? No, absolutely not. But I do think that it's worth a conversation, and that's what I'm here to do. So, for now, if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.